about 45 million pounds of chips in a quarter. That equates to about 200 million pounds of potatoes, which is quite a few. What's interesting with M&T is they were a small town bank, and as we've grown, they've also grown with us. They've got the resources that you would need in order to go big, but they also have that friendly local community feel so that it makes it seem easier than it probably is.
Hello, and welcome to Candidates Up Front. I'm Judith Cranus, a member of the League of Women Voters. Our April 28th primary election is coming up. This is the election in which the main political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, choose their candidates. You must be registered to vote as a Republican or as a Democrat to choose your party's candidate. However, everyone, no matter your party or lack of party, every registered voter may vote on ballot questions, and there are 5 of them this year for the City of Reading. This year, Berks Community Television and the League of Women Voters of Berks County have joined forces to provide you with interviews of all candidates in contested races, and we will provide information on the ballot questions. There are contested races this spring in the 9th Congressional District for the Democratic Party and in the 127th Pennsylvania House of Representatives District for both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. In each district, the candidates will all get the same questions and will have the same amount of time to answer each one. And we have done it this way so that you can compare. Please note, if you are not yet registered, you have until April 13th to do so. And if you need more information on registering or on voting, you can visit elections@countyofberks.com, and I think we have a slide with that on, or I'm hoping we do. Elections@countyofberks.com, or you can phone our Berks County Department of Election Services at 610-478-6490. And this year, you can vote by mail-in ballot, and that application is available on the same website or through the same phone number. Now, please note that the opinions expressed in this interview are those of the candidate, and they are not necessarily the opinions of the League of Women Voters of Berks County or Berks Community Television. Our interviewee in this particular program is running in the Democratic contest for the 127th Pennsylvania House District. This district includes most of the City of Reading and the borough of Kenhorst, and we do have a map of the district. Could we have that map up, please? No, we're not going to have the map up. Oh, it was hard to read anyway, and this is the result of gerrymandering. There's some small portions of Reading that were carved out and are not in the district, and we're going to talk about gerrymandering later, which makes us ready for our interview. In this program, we are talking with Democrat Robert Melendez. He has 4 opponents: Raymond Baker, Cesar Cepeda, Robin Kostenbader-Jacobson, and Manny Guzman. Mr. Melendez, welcome.
Well, thank you, Judith. Thank you, Judith, and thanks BCTV for this opportunity to be able to be here, and thanks to viewers for giving us that opportunity.
Thank you. We're going to start with our first question. Why do you want to be a state representative, and what are your qualifications for this position? And I'll give you 60 seconds to fill us in on that.
Sure. My qualifications for being running for this position is I'm a businessman. My name is Robert Melendez, born in Stamford, Connecticut, father of 6. I've been in the city of Reading for 35 years. I've been, since being homeless since a young age in life and pulling myself out of the streets and becoming a self-taught businessman, owning properties and investing in real estate and restaurants, around the city, in and out the skirts around the city, is gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of people that are in need, and I believe that I could be their voice in Harrisburg. It's most important that we have somebody that's going to work for our neighbors and our neighborhoods and our business people that we have in the city of Reading that actually needs our help. And I believe that I'm that person that could be able to help out what the mayor cannot accomplish in the city of Reading. We could probably accomplish it at a higher level.
Thank you. What should voters know about this office? Why is it important to? What does the state legislature do that affects them?
They do basically a little everything. They're in charge of our medical benefits. They're in charge of doing the right laws, creating laws that protect us, the funds that we need for the city of Reading. We could be able to get funds to help our city. We could be able to work together with other people at a higher level to be able to create a better city for all. It's very important that people know that without lawmakers, without people that could control this situation, we won't have no guidelines. And that's where all the guidelines come from.
Thank you. What are the three most important things you want to accomplish?
Three most important things. I like to focus on senior citizens' elimination of taxes, okay, which would be number one, and or reducing. Number two is protecting our school programs, our after-school programs, and our indoor school programs. We cannot be hurting our children in the school district. We need to help them and defend them, and they need a voice in a higher level. And that would be my second one. And my third one is that we need to protect the rights of everyone, women, children, wherever you come from whatever gender you are, whatever gender you choose, everybody should have the rights to be able to be protected and not discriminated against.
Thank you. Should the state make health care accessible and affordable to all Pennsylvanians? Obviously, it's not now. And how would you do this? And we're giving 90 seconds because it's kind of a complex issue.
Okay, should I be looking at you or should I be looking at the camera? Is that a
I
good
would look
question?
at the camera whenever you
Talk to
see
the
the red
people,
light. Talk to the
okay.
people who are watching us from home.
Thank you. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Should the state make health care accessible and affordable to all Pennsylvanians? It's not now. It's been expanded, but it's not completely expanded. And how would you do it?
They should do it. I mean, they do it in Canada. They do it in other countries and other places that we don't have those benefits. So we have benefits that are needed, especially for senior citizens. Medicaid is not covering everything. We have people that can't afford their insulin, people that can't afford their diabetic pills. You know, I mean, we just keep hurting people, and nobody cares to care about senior citizens, and that's one issue that we have. Everything keeps rising, and nothing seems to rise. Their benefits, their retirement plan, their pension does not rise, but Medicaid bills keep coming in, pouring in. I believe they should make it accessible and better for everyone.
Okay. Currently in Berks County, we have no county health department. Do we need one? And I should note to our viewers, we are airing in the middle of the close down for the coronavirus. And should a county health department be part of the state's mandate to the counties, and should it be paid for by the state?
It should be paid for by the state, not by the taxpayers, though. Okay, that's one thing that we got to balance out. You know, where does the money come from? I believe the state should, but not hit us back with a raise in taxes because of that. We have enough tax problems as we have already paying taxes. But we do need somebody to take care of people that are actually getting sick, especially with the coronavirus right now. We do need clinics that are affordable, clinics that people can go to and not have to worry about that they're not going to be able to pay it. They're not going to be able to, they have to get a second mortgage on their home to survive, to be able to live.
You said the state should pay for it, but not taxes, and yet the only money the state has are taxes.
Our tax money.
So you're probably distinguishing between two kinds of taxes?
Well, with this, with the census now, right? And they're going to get federal grants that comes in to be able to cover that. That should be included in it. So that way we have some type of a budget to work with those programs right off the top.
Okay. We're going to switch topics a little bit and talk about the gerrymandering issue. And we're doing a census. Everybody, I hope, is replying to the census. It's just about time to do that. And afterwards, our state legislators will be redrawing district lines for state and federal officials for their election districts. And in the past, because it's been done by the legislators who have a certain self-interest in the matter, districts have favored one party. They've created to help one party or the other. Do you think this is fair to voters? And if not, what would you do to give voters a fair district?
I believe that the citizens of wherever they live at should be able to be the ones in charge of this and not political backgrounds, trying to redistrict, try to keep control of their areas of what they want to do. There's certain persons that already have done this before in the past. I mean, there's situations where like big Hispanic communities have been cut out of the map area. They draw a line around them so that they're protected for their seats. I believe it should be squared off. It shouldn't be like any type of designs going on all crazy all over the area. Something nice and simple, and the people should be able to do that themselves, the residents in the area.
So you would have it be done by citizens who are not affiliated with the
With any
political
parties. Correct, any political parties at all. Because I believe that why don't everybody is able to vote in the primary election? They must vote for a certain party only and that party only.
So you would actually want to change election law to allow people to vote.
Everybody
Even
should
if
be
they're
able to vote.
nonpartisan.
Because
Okay.
why are they registered? If they're registered nonpartisan, they are registered to vote.
Okay. Another topic we have is the minimum wage. Would you support raising the minimum wage, and where do you think it should be?
Folks, the minimum wage is a thing that we must look at. Everybody wants to make a lot of money, and obviously good money, because times are hard. We had people coming from out of states buying these properties, and property is not easy to get. Rents are going sky high. People are treating these properties in the city of Reading like if they were from New York. We do not live in New York. We shouldn't have to be paying $1,000 a month rent for a single home and all the bills on top of that. And we have issues that we have to protect our residents, also business people, and if we raise minimum wage, I agree to a certain limit, but we also have to believe and understand that we have senior citizens that live in a fixed income. Senior citizens that live in a fixed income are not going to get a raise. And economy, everything that we use every day is going to get going higher and higher and higher. And I believe that there's somewhere where everybody should meet a happy medium. I believe in raises, just not so accessible because everything will go higher.
Okay. We're going to talk then about safety net programs, this food assistance, housing assistance, medical care, addiction treatment, things like that. Do you feel these programs are adequate in Pennsylvania? And if not, how would you change them?
Housing assistance is needed all over throughout our country. We have a lot of homeless people. We have a lot of people that are going hungry to bed every night. We do have this assistance that help people out, but I believe there's some people out there that are actually also abusing the system. I believe we should look at this carefully and see who is getting these benefits and how are they earning these benefits. Do they deserve to be receiving these benefits? There's some people out there selling their food stamps, to buy cigarettes. There's people doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, and I'm not saying this is for everyone. But we know that it's going on and we know what's happening. Everybody should be looking at the details of everything. And everything should be looked at very, very carefully because there are people in need. Housing assistance, we can't keep getting people homeless. We have to help people out. I was homeless myself at one time. So I believe we need more assistance, more help, but looking at the details of where it's going to go to and how.
Should there be work requirements to get benefits?
if they're not handicapped, why not? You know, I mean, if they're able to work, why not? I mean, there's something that benefits everyone. It's a two-win situation, a win-win situation. We get benefits from them, and we give benefits to them. You know, as our residents in the city of Reading, everyone that needs it.
Should you have to be a citizen to get safety net services?
You should be able to come through the door with the proper papers, not illegally. You should be able to be registered to be able to get assistance. And I agree on that. If you're not registered, then you must get registered somehow, you know, but being legal. No, illegally, no, sorry.
Okay. What is your plan to facilitate and encourage the successful completion of a high school diploma by children in challenged communities to ensure they're equipped to be gainfully employed in today's economy, which is so much in high technology?
We have to work directly with the school district. There's something that we are not focusing on enough, and that's our children. Today, they eliminate cursive. When I was in school, we learned how to sign cursive, and we learned how to write cursively, you know, and now they eliminate these things. Why do we keep eliminating instead of adding is what I do not understand. We cannot keep doing that. We need to be able to protect our children and prepare them in better ways. We talked about that earlier. Connecticut, I was born in Connecticut, and I remember going to school, and we had shop in our schools. We had boxing in our schools. We had different programs in our schools. Here we have wrestling, and they're complaining about that. They have music, and they want to eliminate music. You know, we can't keep eliminating things. We got to look better at the picture and try to find out. It's our future we're talking about. It's our children.
Currently, there are inequities in the way we fund our private schools. The schools in rich zip codes seem to thrive. Schools in poor zip codes tend to struggle. What would you do to provide every child in Pennsylvania a quality education? What would you do to that funding formula?
Funding formula?
Because that's set by the state.
We need to have better funding for our school districts. We need to protect our school districts. We need to protect our librarians because that's the after-school programs. We need to protect the librarians and the libraries, actually. We have good workers out there, people that actually care, to take their time out for our children. We just need a little more of it. You know, we need a little more of it. We need better grants, better federal funding to protect our children. Once again, I can't express myself how much this is so important because they are the children of our future, and if we don't have programs for them and after-school programs and fundings, they're not going to have the same benefits as other people in other schools. We need better situations.
Now, many local legislators in our Berks area favor doing away with the property tax as a funding for public schools. How would you fund our public schools? I mean, it's going to be a tax of some kind. What tax do you think should be used to fund our public schools?
I believe in eliminating senior citizen school taxes, okay? Not just everyone's school taxes. I believe a benefit that senior citizens paid enough in their time. They should be able to have a benefit after retirement. And what can we do to protect the school? It's simple. We'll raise 1% sale taxes, and it will not hurt anyone. We go through the whole country, throughout our state, actually, and do what we need to do. A 1% raise in sales taxes will actually create more revenue for our school districts. Our children would be better off receiving more grants, more money because of that sales tax. And if it balances it off, it's going to help a win-win situation for senior citizens and also our school district. Better programs, more pencils, more paper, more work. Instead of cutting back on books, we need to bring in more books.
People generally don't like taxes, yet obviously taxes are necessary to fund all the things we do in common.
You're absolutely correct, Judith. If we don't have taxes, what are we going to live off of? You know, we have to have something to benefit our police officers, our schools, our teachers, our, you know, a lot of situations that depend on these federal taxes. That's where all the money comes from. I mean, it just don't fall from the sky.
No, but there's federal funds and there are state funds, and I wanted to talk about one of the state taxes, which is our income tax. The federal income tax is geared to how much money you make. It's a graduated tax. Our state tax is what they call flat. Everybody pays the same amount no matter how high your income goes. And in this time where we have increasing disparity between those with money and those without, is that flat tax still appropriate, or should Pennsylvania change to a more graduated tax?
I believe that the system is backwards, okay? I mean, why do we keep giving more incentives to the rich, and the rich keep getting richer and they get tax breaks? I mean, I know I'm being hated for that right now, but it's the honest truth. You know, we have poor people that are paying taxes and can't afford it, but yet the rich keep getting breaks. You can't believe it, how much breaks they get. We need to protect our small business people also. You know, they deserve a tax break. Why can't they get a federal grant loan for a 1% interest rate? They're creating jobs. They're in our neighborhoods. They're helping out the people. They're keeping people off the street by creating jobs also. You know, we need to be able to balance that off in a better situation.
So would you favor changing the Pennsylvania income tax to a graduated tax rather than a flat tax to help?
To help budget out the economy, yes. To help budget out the people,
You would, then?
yes,
That
I
would
would.
be something you would be in favor of?
Yes, of course.
Do you have a plan, or what is your plan to address the crumbling infrastructure in our state? We don't seem to be able to keep our roads and bridges up to snuff.
Even if we have to, New York pays 8%, 9%, 10% in sales taxes. We're down to the 6%. And I don't know if people understand that sales taxes is not something that actually hurts everyone. It's not something big. It's something that's actually small, but in a big scale. That's why big manufacturers make money. You see they sell a bag of lollipops and you wonder what's their profit. You know, even if it's a penny, it adds up after billions of pennies. And that's the situation that we're having. We need to get federal grants and active right away and fix these streets in the city. I mean, all over the place. It's just horrible. Nobody actually wants to drive their vehicles in the city at all. You know, I mean, it's a shame.
We only have 5 minutes left, so we're going to go through these last ones as quickly as we can. Do you think the state of Pennsylvania can do more to keep the planet habitable? And let's just go down to like 45 seconds.
I thank God for my daughter. She's actually an environmental specialist. You know, she's protecting our environment, and God bless her and everybody else that's doing everything they can to protect our environment, because it's, once again, we're talking about our future, our planet, our water resources. We must protect this.
Okay, so you think the state should do more?
Yes.
Should we be decreasing our use of fossil fuels and carbon emissions? And if so, what should we do? And what would be a reasonable time frame to do this? And we'll do this in 45 seconds.
Fossil fuel and coal, we're killing our atmosphere as it is, you know, fossil fuel. We're doing everything backwards. Once again, I mean, we had a cleaner environment hundreds of years ago, and then it came into a spot where they got all this fossil fuel and all the coal and all the burning and everything else, and it contaminated our air, and we're still contaminating it. And we got to look at resources and better cleaning atmospheres that we need to protect our environment once and for all.
Okay. And should the state be charging the fracking industry to repair the damages caused by fracking? And what fees should there be, and how would the funds be dispersed?
The funds should go back to, like I was saying, protecting the environments and looking for better resources of how to eliminate all these things. And that's where the funds should be going to. What type of fines or whatever you want to call it, you know, they should be receiving, that would be up to judge, you know, big companies to decide and judges to decide for the people, not for the politicians and the industries.
What do you think are common sense gun violence controls the state should have in place?
Well, no one should own a gun without a license. Everybody should have background checks. Everybody should be able to, if you have a pistol, revolver, firearm, anything in your home, it should be registered and licensed. Nobody should be able to have anything in their home or even for whatever it is without registration. And make sure that the gun violence, all the pistols and everything else that they have in their homes are actually under lockdown, not secured, so that no one else could grab a hold of them and create any more body harm to anyone else in the neighborhood, family, wherever.
Okay, and I think you've probably answered this last one, but I'll let you speak to it again. Currently in Pennsylvania, one can discriminate against someone who is LGBTQ in housing or employment. You can refuse to let them buy your house or rent your property, and you can fire them from a job for those things. Should we have laws to stop this discrimination?
Of course, we should have laws to stop discrimination. Nobody here is God on earth to judge anyone. God put us all on this planet. We're all equal. To everyone's eyes, everybody should be treated equal and not unfairly. You know, that discrimination must stop immediately. That's nothing that to be joking around with. We're talking about bullying at a higher level. We have bullying enough in schools. Let's stop bullying on the higher levels and everywhere else. You know, we cannot be doing this. People have a hard enough time getting through life, paying their bills and living life normal as it is. You know, that we need to help people and protect people. Everyone we need to protect.
Okay, we have about 30 seconds left, and you may make a closing comment.
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in and watching this program at BCTV. And Judith, my name is Robert Melendez. April 28th is our election day. Don't give up the opportunity to give me an opportunity to represent you as State Representative District 127. I'm looking forward to being the people's voice in Harrisburg. This is something that we must keep together, work hard together, and it's an opportunity. If I fall, I will get up, shake it off, but I will keep on running, and I will not let you down. I'm here for the duration. I am not going anywhere. So thank you very much, and you have a very nice evening.
Thank you, Mr. Melendez, for sharing your message with our BCTV viewers.
It's my pleasure.
And before we close, I want to remind our viewers that there are 4 other candidates in this race. They are Raymond Baker, Cesar Cepeda, Robin Kostenbader-Jacobson, and Manny Guzman. And I encourage you to watch their interviews as well, so you are fully informed when you vote. Thank you for watching Candidate Up Front. These programs are brought to you in the public interest by Berks Community Television and the League of Women Voters of Berks County, and they were sponsored by M&T Bank. I'm Judith Kranis. Good day.
We make about 45 million pounds of chips in a quarter. That equates to about 200 million pounds of potatoes, which is quite a few. What's interesting with M&T is they're a small town bank, and as we've grown, they've also grown with us. They've got the resources that you would need in order to go big, but they also have that friendly local community feel so that it makes it seem easier than it probably is.